One of
than
your
it's been.
big applause lines that is a bit of a head scratcher for me is defund the FBI.
Yeah.
So if you
I didn't say defund the FBI. I said shut down the FBI and replace it with something new. Yeah.
So you want to shut down the FBI? What are you replacing it with?
I think it's a new apparatus built from scratch that actually respects the law instead of making it up.
Like another federal law enforcement agency? Look, this talking point is so dumb, but let's continue before we break it down.
When you have a bureaucracy whose culture becomes so ossified, every once in a while you need to turn it over. And I think that, yes, we need federal law enforcement, but that institution has, in a bipartisan way, become so, I think, ossified in its own norms, in its own corruption, that we need to rebuild it from scratch.
Let's cut the crap. The real reason this Republican wants to shut down the FBI is because they went after Donald Trump when he illegally had classified documents. And hating on the FBI is like catnip to Republican voters, since a majority of them disapprove of the agency.
So you're going to replace the FBI with a new FBI?
Well, with a new institution built from scratch to carry out federal law enforcement, because the existing FBI, the people who work there, have worked there for so long that actually they're going to be getting in their own way. I think that that's actually important. And by the way, I also support
it does sound like you're just replacing the FBI with the FBI.
Now, I don't disagree that having a change of leadership in federal agencies is beneficial, but why abolish an agency just to replace it with the exact same thing? But that's the key. It doesn't need to make sense for Republican voters. You don't have to provide a policy-based solution or steps for Republican voters to get on board. You only have to call things that Republican voters don't like woke or dangerous, or call them groomers, for them to just love you, or abolish an agency that they don't like. But not all Republicans agree.
There are a few misguided leaders who say we should defund law enforcement. We should defund the FBI. I am here today in support of our law enforcement heroes.
But Orange Cheeto Daddy disagrees, saying Republicans in Congress should defund the DOJ and the FBI until they come to their senses. Do you like my Trump impression? Rate it in the comments 1 through 10. Look, the big takeaway from this story is Republican candidates and politicians don't have to offer up real policy-based solutions for Republican voters to love them. They just have to make the most nonsense, anti-woke argument, or abolish a federal agency that they don't like for Republican voters to just swoon over them. And that's the thing. This is alarming because the lack of critical thinking skills amongst the Republican electorate is greatly alarming, because it shows they would rather choose to spend their vote on hating the existence or the rights or the humanity of other Americans, literally owning the libs, rather than voting for policies that would greatly benefit them. My name is Scott Johnson. You can find more of this blue-eyed gay boy on my YouTube, which is in the description below. You can also find me on TikTok, which is also in the description below, 64,000 followers. And most importantly, do not forget to smash the subscribe button to the breakdown. Do it for tacos.